had a radio station and would we be interested in selling it, because they don't get a frequency from here to Sacramento and they're looking to expand their frequency. And I said, no, really, this is just too bizarre and too much of a coincidence, and I don't really want to meet with you if this is some kind of little nefarious scheme, Ms. Wallace. You seem like a nice lady, but I am concerned about the timing of this. And she assured me that she reached out because somebody who was a former student talked to an engineer at KQED who went to school with this person and said, hey, the district has a radio station, and she approached us about whether we would be interested in purchasing it. Timing was odd, I have to say. I was suspicious.
Did they discuss the value of this purchase?
They discussed the value of the purchase in the sense that they said, you know, we bought a radio station or a non-commercial license up in Sacramento, and we paid, I think they said $3,000 or $4,000 for it. And I said to the general counsel, I don't even know if this is worth having a meeting. Surely a radio station is more valuable than $3,000 or $4,000. We did have a meeting with them, and they said, you all should talk to a radio consultant and let them value this thing for you, and then if you're still interested, we'll have a discussion about it. So KQED said $3,000 or $4,000 based on what they did in Sacramento. And so we are in contact with the radio consultant, and hopefully you all will give us authority at the next board meeting to meet and talk with these people, and we can figure out what a value is.
And is there, actually, I did not like what was in here, some of the conditions, because the idea was that should the program get up and running, that it could simply be stopped at any point during the school year with 90 days notice, which to me is really disrespectful to the community and the students who are participating in a program, and then we just simply tell them, I'm sorry, but you have 3 months and then you have to find someplace else to finish your educational program. I know the history of this radio station. I know how far back it goes because I'm that old too. And it has been life-changing for a lot of students, and it also is a program that has the opportunity to bring some real-life skills for kids that are invaluable and can't be replaced in other classrooms. I'm concerned that we have not put enough creative thinking into how we might use this station better. It sounds to me from the conversations I've had, we've kind of let it fall by the wayside. And sometimes that's unfortunate because you get the passion of one teacher who drives it, and then that person, we all get old and move on, and then it could fall, kind of by the wayside. So I think it's incumbent upon us to take something that to me is a valuable resource and a valuable educational opportunity and grow it and find ways to make that a viable program, because I think it's irreplaceable for kids in their education myself. And I don't know how the district might better partner in this process. I think to have one ROP class is a great start, but that's probably not enough. The nice part about ROP is it's open to all students and adults in our community, so it's not just focused on one particular school setting. That's an opportunity that anybody 16 years of age or over can join in. So I think we shouldn't see it as a limited program to one setting, that is something all our older students and adults can benefit from. I don't see any reason why we can't collaborate around growing something like this, especially with the attention that we've paid in recent years to academies and trying to find some career tech classes. This is sort of an ideal match for that. I think for us to let go of this program, and it's not just because I'm old and it's history, it's because it actually is a career opportunity and an amazing opportunity for a whole group of students and adults who get disenfranchised sometimes and are looking for that. I also think it's an amazing resource that we can use for good district PR, for our trying to find ways that we can promote some things that are happening here and use it better, and even partner with the charter school in some way to bring our own programs in and grow that together. So I would, move to amend this proposal. So I would move to amend the motion to approve by striking the statements, and there are 2 sentences in there that I'd move to amend, which is, in the event that discussions with KQED or another buyer make a sale appear imminent, the district would then give CVCHS 90 days notice of the sale. This 90 days notice period would allow CVCHS to secure another location and studio facilities to finish the remainder of the 2012 to 13 school year. And I'd replace those two sentences with no sale of radio station KVHS FM shall be considered. It may be reconsidered at the conclusion of the Mount WSD 2012 to 13 academic school year, but we would factor into that an evaluation of revenue and an evaluation of the educational programs in place around that station.
I have the striking part I need to add. I need to.
know it's long.
Redo the addition.
So I would strike the two sentences, and you
have
got
those.
those, and replace them with the statement, no sale of radio station KVHS FM shall be considered until the conclusion, at the earliest, the conclusion of the Mount Diablo Unified School District's 2012 to 13 academic school year,
So let it catch up.
and until the conclusion of the Mount WSD 2012 to 13 academic school year. This will also include evaluation of revenue and the educational programs in place with that station.
This will include what?
An evaluation of revenue, because we've talked about
Of revenue and.
revenue and the educational programs associated with that station.
So are we to assume that Ms. Hanson moved the entire motion except for that change, the change there?
That's what I have it, yes.
So you need a second.
So I do need a second, yes.
I'll second the motion for discussion.
Thank you.
For discussion.
So I understand your intent to ensure that CHS be able to provide the instructional program for the entire year. My question is, how will we be able to evaluate the ROP program that Clayton Valley contracts with the County Office of Education when we are not involved in that process? They could have one ROP class there, or they could have 6 ROP classes there. So we would not be able to evaluate them.
My intent here is let it get started and grow, and then our job is really to come in and determine that there is success, that this is supported. I think an outreach has been made to ROP, and ROP has come forward. So if ROP continues to support that and could even expand into additional sections, if, once you start a program like that, those things can grow. So should ROP continue to support that, and they will all year support it, and then that program roots and is successful, it may even grow into additional sections, I don't know.
Where does it advise us that ROP is involved at this point in time? Are they involved at this point in time? Is the county ROP
Yes.
problem?
They are.
Okay, they've committed to it. If the,
I believe if they said they get 20 to 25 students, they would commit to supporting the section.
okay.
So my suggestion here is that we allow programs to get into place and let those be encouraged to grow, and we, at the end of this school year, because I certainly am uncomfortable with the idea that we would give somebody 3 months' notice, students 3 months' notice, and say, we're going to cut you off, now go figure out how to finish the year. I don't think that's fair and reasonable to students. So I would say, since ROP has made a commitment, that we allow that to be developed this year, and then we have an opportunity at the end of the school year to reflect and see what options we might have, and if it's growing and successful, then I certainly would continue to support it in coming years. I do believe it's a valuable asset, and to give it away, and the price I'm hearing is small change. I'd write you a personal check for $3,000.
Well,
The price you're hearing was based on something that happened in Sacramento, and I'm not sure how big their bubble was. I have a feeling that our proximity to San Francisco and the amount of listeners who would be available to our district makes this a much more